Back on the record at 7:45 p.m.
Okay, great. Ms. Harper, we're back on the record after a quick break. I have a couple more questions for you. Hopefully we'll get you out of here relatively quickly. I'm done with that exhibit, so you can set it aside. I have a question about the branded side of Mallinckrodt. Did you deal at all with them?
On a very limited basis.
Okay. And what was your involvement with the branded side?
Only to the extent that they sold branded products that were narcotics.
Okay, so like Exalgo or Exartemis?
Yes.
Okay. And so I'm going to ask you some questions about that just to figure out if there's what your role is, okay?
All right.
Okay. So the branded side had target pharmacy lists, is that correct?
I don't know.
Okay. Were you ever involved in reviewing target pharmacy lists from the branded side?
So I'm gonna clarify my previous answer.
Sure.
Because yes, I believe they had, I don't know what they were called.
Okay.
But did you say pharmacies?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not certain about that.
Okay. What about physicians?
Yes, yes, yes.
And what was your involvement in reviewing those target physician lists?
When we had, when we were using the top prescriber list from the IMS data, we would vet that against the speakers list.
Okay, and what's the speakers list?
Those were speakers that, and I don't know very much about the program, but that Mallinckrodt employed to speak on our, I don't know the arrangement, but they spoke on behalf of Mallinckrodt for Mallinckrodt products. But I don't want to reach too far into the brands because, okay.
Okay, so long as I understand your answer.
Yeah.
Okay, and so do you know if when you looked at those top prescriber lists, did you review those at all from a suspicious order monitoring perspective?
Yes.
Okay, and what did you do for that?
So that is when, in the circumstance we spoke about before, if we were reviewing a downstream registrant and their due diligence with a particular pharmacy, if the distributor's file contained information about the top prescribers at those pharmacies, we would vet that against the list of the top prescribers per IMS.
Okay. And top prescribers for Mallinckrodt products, those prescriptions could have been legitimate, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And those prescriptions also could have been illegitimate.
And I'd like to qualify that.
Yes, ma'am.
So our top prescriber list,
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if that was exclusive to Mallinckrodt product, but it was for Oxy 15 and Oxy 30.
Okay. So for the folks that were the top prescribers of Oxy 15 and Oxy 30, those could be legitimate doctors. They could be at the top of the list, is that right?
Correct.
Or those could be people who are operating pill mills. They could also be at the top of the list.
Potentially, yes.
Okay. And did Mallinckrodt have a way of figuring that out?
When we used that list in the review with our distributors of their downstream registrants, again, if they provided us the names of the top prescribers at the pharmacy, and if that coincided with the top prescriber list we had within the country, we would have a detailed conversation with the distributor about the fact that that prescriber appeared on the list.
So that they were a top prescriber.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and so do you know if anyone from Mallinckrodt sales team was supposed to report signs of diversion to you?
We spoke before about the NAMs, the National Account Managers.
Yes, ma'am.
We asked them to be our observers, and if they saw anything at any of our customers that may appear to be a red flag, that they would report to the company.
Okay, and was that process the same for the sales team on the branded side?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. Do you know if there was any sort of suspicious order monitoring training for the sales team on the branded side?
I'm not certain.
Okay. Do you know if you had a counterpart, a suspicious order person on the branded side?
Did not.
Okay.
I'm looking at the questioner's mouth a lot, and this thing's in my way. Can we scoot it or something? I'm sorry. It's just helping me understand the question.
That was very thoughtful. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Did Mallinckrodt have a program or procedure in place to connect problem prescribers and problem pharmacies?
Objection to form.
Only to the extent I previously described, if we were talking to a distributor about their downstream sales to a downstream registrant, and if their due diligence, the distributor's due diligence files contained a list of top prescribers, we would reference that against our listing of top prescribers within the country.
Okay. 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 I'm going to move this over for a second. Okay, I'm going to mark this next one as Exhibit 41. And that is MNK-T1_000-770-4503. I'm sorry, it's stapled on the bottom. Oop. Trade you. Take a minute to look at this list. I'll represent to you that the path it says is the file name is DIRJ and Pill Mill Physicians List 2012 something. And it looks like the date it was last modified was 1/16/2012. Have you seen this list before?
No.
Okay. Do you know of any list that was kept of pill mill physicians?
No.
Okay. Do you know what DIRJ stands for?
No.
Okay. Do you have an idea who I might ask about this document?
Perhaps someone on the branded side?
Okay. You suspect this has something to do with branded, perhaps?
I suspect that, yes.
Okay. Very good then.
Okay.
Set it aside. Oh, you know what? Actually, if you'll take it back for 1 second, it looks like they stapled it all together again. I don't think we have to put it as a separate exhibit.
So are we still on 41?
We are. If you
Okay.
look at the very last page for me, if you flip it over one, I'll represent to you that this list here is the same list but sorted by Tennessee. It's got the same Bates number. Looking at that, do any of those names ring a bell to you for any suspected pill mill operations in Tennessee?
No.
Okay, that was my last question. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. This next one is Exhibit 42. It is MNK-T1_005947 296. Okay, the file name is IMS High Oxy 30 prescribers in January 2013. I will represent to you that we have modified this list to sort it just by Tennessee. We haven't changed the contents of it at all. Do you recognize this list, ma'am?
No.
Is this the IMS data you were talking about earlier, perhaps, looking for physicians?
Objection to form.
It states IMS data, yes, so yes.
Okay. Have you seen a chart like this that you've consulted before?
Perhaps.
Okay. Do you know if you did, if it would have been on the branded side or the generic side?
Objection to form.
This would have been the list of, potentially the list of high prescribers that we were cross-referencing. However, I don't recall that the list was this large or this long.
Okay. So, okay. Very good. Moving along. Next one is Exhibit 43. MNK-T1_0007704471. The title on this is IMS prescribers through January 2013, and we have modified it just to show Tennessee. Have you seen a chart like this before, ma'am?
A similar chart with the high prescribers throughout the country is all I recall seeing.
Okay. Okay. And if something's in the network share drive, does that mean it's open to everybody within the suspicious order monitoring team to view?
Yes.
Okay. So you would have had access to anything on the share drive?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Exhibit 44. MNK-T1_005947 The file name on this is prescriber list. Date last modified is 2/1/2016 on the network share. Have you seen this list before?
No.
Do you have any idea what it is?
No.
Okay, do you know if it has to do with suspicious order monitoring?
No.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to note here on the page, let's start with page 3, all the way at the back. At the very top, it says Alan Percarella. And the comments are arrested on 8/23/13 on charge of possession of a Schedule 2 with intent to distribute. State Tennessee on target list, Q 2013, specialty physician assistant. Do you see where that's at?
Yes.
Okay. And if you keep going through a bunch of these, it has various criminal descriptions here. You didn't create this?
No,
Did you have someone on your team create it?
no.
Okay. Okay. Set that aside. Okay, just a couple more. Okay, I'm going to hand you, marked as plaintiff's exhibit 45, and then K_TNSTA 025276616. Take a look at that for me, please. I will submit to you that we took the information provided to us and sorted it by state, so it's Tennessee only. Okay, and the title of this document is Oxy 15, and then we'll do 30, sold via by month, January through December 2011. The run, I'm guessing, is report run 2/15/2012. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. So going through this, I'm not going to ask you 800 million questions, but we've sorted it by Tennessee. So if you will go with me. To the very last page.
Page 17.
Page 17, yes ma'am.
All right.
All the way down to the very bottom line that's open. Sorting it by state and then totaling the totals for 12 months. Can you please read that number in the corner?
4,071,300.
Okay, and do you know if those are sales of pills or bottles?
These appear to be chargeback reports.
Yes, ma'am.
And it would have been dosage units.
Dosage units.
Yes.
Okay, and what is a dosage unit?
A pill,
A
or
pill.
a tablet, or a capsule, yes.
Okay, so when we take the total number here, 4,071,300, that would be pills of Oxy 15 shipped to Tennessee January through December 2011. Is that right?
So the front of the chart says Oxy 15s and 30s.
Yes, ma'am.
And I just don't see, it says it's on separate tabs, and I don't see.
Yeah, so this one is the sheet for Oxy 15, and I'm going to show you next one for Oxy 30.
All right.
Okay, got it. Okay, so I'm going to go back and ask my question just to make sure I round that out. So the total here, 4,071,300. That would be the number of pills of Oxy 15 shipped to Tennessee January through December 2011, according to this chargeback data. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving along. Okay, it's on a different tab of the same Bates number, MNKTNSTA 02527616. Okay, same chart, but for the tab for Oxy 30, we've modified this just to Tennessee. And if you'll flip with me to the very last page, you could read the total for me there, ma'am.
$12,482,100.
Okay. So same question for this chargeback sheet for I want to make sure I understand it. So that's 12,482,100 pills of Oxy 30 that were sent to Tennessee January through December 2011, according to this chargeback data. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. You can set that aside. Okay, so if you add those two numbers, I'll submit to you that the total, so you don't have to do the math, is 16,553,400 Mallinckrodt Oxy 15 and 30 milligram pills that ended up in Tennessee in 1 year. Does that sound correct?
Objection to form.
Yes, based upon these reports you've shown me, yes.
Okay. And Oxy 15 and Oxy 30 are not the only oxycodone products that Mallinckrodt manufactures. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, what other products are there?
There's oxycodone, acetaminophen,
Okay.
tablets in various strengths, but I don't know the list of strengths.
Okay. And other than the oxycodone, acetaminophen, and the two branded we've discussed, Exalgo and Exartemis, do you know any other opioid products that are manufactured by Mallinckrodt?
I can't be certain. Some of the drug substances we distribute in an oral formulation,
Okay.
but I don't know if oxycodone is one of them.
Okay. But so far as you know, for oxycodone, we've talked about what we have.
Yes.
Okay. And so for the oxycodone with acetaminophen, do you know if spreadsheets like that, like we just looked at, if those exist for the oxycodone with acetaminophen?
So the chargeback data exists for all products, but the ones we focus on are the Oxy 15s, the Oxy 30s, and the Hydro 10s.
Okay. So there wouldn't have been a chargeback report necessarily regularly run for oxycodone, acetaminophen.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. And you mentioned the hydrocodone. I say hydrocodone, you say hydrocodone.
It's
I
all right.
apologize for that. You mentioned the hydrocodone 10 milligram. You ran chargeback data for those two. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And mark this one as Exhibit 47. Okay, and this is MNK underscore TNSTA 02527625. Now, if you look at the file name here, it says Hydro APAP 10s shipped to and sold via WDEA by month, January 2012 through December 2012, all APAP. Do you know what any of that means?
Yes.
Could you explain it to me, please?
So hydrocodone APAP, we sell that in various strengths. Some of the products in our line have 5 milligrams of hydrocodone. Some have 7.5 milligrams of hydrocodone. And in this case, it's referencing 10 milligrams of hydrocodone per pill mixed or with acetaminophen contained in the pill as well.
Okay. And when it says WDEA, is that with DEA? Do you know what that means?
Yes, that's correct.
What does that mean?
With DEA registration.
Oh, with DEA registration. Okay. And is the reason that the Hydro APAP 10S was monitored with reports like this via chargeback data because it was susceptible to diversion?
Objection to form.
We were told that it was a drug of concern, but based upon DEA information, yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so looking at this report, I want to make sure that I understand this correctly, and you've already answered a lot of my questions, so that's great. Okay, if you'll go with the total to this one on the very last page, that total there reads, could you read it for me, please?
78,184,600.
Okay, and so that would be 10 milligram hydrocodone APAP pills sold in Tennessee from January 2012 to December 2012. Is that correct? That's what this shows?
The date at the top says 13. Year
I think
2000.
that's the date. Oh, where do you see?
Here.
Oh, it sure does. Maybe it's mislabeled. Okay, so 2013. Make sure I've got the right chart. Well, it sure does say 2013. Okay, so I'm going to modify my question. So that total there, okay, so that total there, 78,184,600. That is hydro APAP pills sold in Tennessee during the calendar year 2013. Is that correct according to this chart?
Those with 10 milligrams of hydrocodone, yes.
Okay, thank you. Do you know why that number is so large?
I don't have enough information to determine whether this is a large number.
Okay. Do you know what the average was of 10 milligram hydrocodone pills being shipped to a state?
No.
Okay. Do you know anything about a Veterans Administration hospital in Tennessee getting shipments of hydrocodone?
Not specifically, no.
Okay. Do you know if the VA has a warehouse in Tennessee for medication?
I do not know.
Okay. Have you dealt with the VA, Veterans Administration, at all in supplying their medication?
I know we supply the VA, but I've not had any conversations with the VA.
Okay. Was there a specific person at Mallinckrodt whose job it would have been to deal with the VA?
Yes.
Who would that have been?
So she's no longer with the company.
Okay.
Her name is Trudy Nicholson,
Okay. And what was Trudy Nicholson's position?
National Account Manager.
Okay. And do you know what her area was?
VA and other government entities.
Okay. And do you know what year she left?
Within the past 2 years.
Okay. Do you know if someone has replaced her?
Yes,
Do you know who it is?
there are several new national account managers. I barely know their names and I don't know their territories.
Okay. Do you know what 867 data is?
I've heard the term, yes.
Okay, do you know what it is?
It has to do with chargebacks. But other than that, I don't know.
Okay. Show you what will mark as plaintiff's exhibit 48. It's MNK-T1_000-771-7730. Take a look at this. My question here is actually pretty simple if you'll just take a look at it.
All right.
Does this also appear to be a chart of hydro APAP 10s sold for the calendar year 2015 to the state of Tennessee?
Yes.
Okay, that's my only question. Thank you. Okay. Okay, and you could place any pharmacy on the chargeback data restrictions list, is that right?
Provided it was a pharmacy that purchased through a distributor who applied for a chargeback Reimbursement, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you didn't, you weren't required to fill any orders that seemed suspicious?
Correct.
Okay. And were you involved at all in the review of the distributors' top 40 pharmacies that began somewhere around the October of 2011?
Yes.
Okay, and that was Mallinckrodt reviewed the top 20 pharmacies in Florida and the top 20 pharmacies outside of Florida. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And some of those pharmacies that were on the 20 list outside of Florida were in Tennessee. Is that right?
I don't have the list in front of me, but I don't dispute that.
Okay. Okay, and which distributors did you review? You were involved with the Cardinal review?
Yes.
Okay. And if I understand things correctly, one of the things that was asked of the distributors was to have them fill out a pharmacy information sheet. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay. And were you involved in helping to develop those pharmacy information sheets?
Yes.
Okay, and who else was involved in that?
It was a team effort by suspicious order monitoring team members at that time.
Okay. Okay, and I think we'll go back in our questioning just a little bit here. I can write it. Oh, thank you. Mark this one as Plaintiff's Exhibit 49. This one is labeled MNK-T1_000-459-2727. Is this your handwriting, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, and you recognize it as your handwriting?
Yes.
Okay, great. And it looks like, yet again, we have added another document to the back of this, if you'll bear with me for just 1 second.
Oh.
31.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks like it got copied on the second back, so we're going to ignore those pharmacy information sheets for a minute, okay? My apologies.
All right.
Okay, so let's just look at this document as it is.
Which page, please? Or
The first page. There
this
you go.
first page? Okay.
Yes,
Got
ma'am.
it.
The one that ends 2727.
Got it.
Is this the Cardinal Top 40 Oxy 30 pharmacies as of March 2012? I'm going to object to your objection because you're not a party in our case.
Yes.
Okay? And do you see Tennessee pharmacies located on this list?
Yes.
Okay, and which pharmacies do you see that are located in Tennessee on this list?
I see Riggs Drug
Yes, ma'am?
and Riggs Drug again
Yes, ma'am?
and Kinzer Drugstore.
Okay, and do you know what that shaded area pharmacy 90-day review from previous meeting means?
Yes.
What does it mean?
It means we had previously spoken to the distributor about these pharmacies, and they were doing additional review, are performing due diligence, are to some extent, and that we were going to revisit these pharmacies on our next quarterly review.
Okay. Same objection. Pharmacies to be reviewed in quarter 3 CY12 is that bottom group. What does that mean? Same objection. I'm just going to have a standing objection to any objections from Cardinal's counsel. Cardinal has not cross-noticed us in this deposition, nor is Cardinal part of our case. So our objection is Cardinal doesn't have standing to object. Go ahead.
So it means what it says. These were the pharmacies that we would discuss with Cardinal in that particular next meeting.
Okay, and what does your handwriting here say?
It says Riggs not related.
Okay, and what does that mean?
I do not know.
Okay, and then what does your handwriting down below say?
Cardinal owns SPS, Specialty Pharmacy Services.
Okay, and what does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay, do you know what Specialty Pharmacy Services is?
No.
Okay. And flip with me to the next page. Is that your handwriting on this document as well?
Yes.
Okay. Then we'll keep flicking to the next page, the one that looks like this. This is the one that ends 59731. You see that list?
592731?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. And so this is Cardinal Oxycodone 30 multi-distributor pharmacies as of March 2012. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. And is that your handwriting to the right?
Yes.
And what does that say?
It says ROC 3 CAH, which is the abbreviation for Cardinal Health, terminated December 2nd, 2011.
Okay. And then underneath that?
Belco picked them up.
Okay. Do you know what any of that means?
No.
Okay. And then looking at this list, it looks like there are 1, 2 on this list that are in Tennessee. Do you see that?
Just a moment, please.
Yep, sure.
Yes.
Okay. And those are Riggs in Lafayette, Tennessee, and Riggs Drug in Powell, Tennessee. Is that right?
Yes.
And so they've been identified as getting oxycodone 30 from multiple distributors. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And so looking at the Riggs Drug, the first one in Lafayette, according to this chart, it says they were receiving oxycodone 30 from Cardinal and Masters. You see that? Standing objection.
Yes.
Okay. And then Riggs Drug in Powell, Tennessee, it says they were receiving oxycodone 30 from Cardinal, Masters, and H.D. Smith Wholesale. Same objection. Reading that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. And was this report run every year?
I'm not certain of the frequency.
Okay. Okay, then the next one, unfortunately, is really supposed to be another exhibit. Should we just mark it separate? We'll just mark it separate. Keep that. I'm going to fix it. Okay, you can put that one to the side. And then what we'll do is make this the next exhibit. Okay? Okay, so the next exhibit is 50. Okay. Mark this one as exhibit 50.
Just to be clear, what's the Bates number on the exhibit you're marking right
I'm
now?
going to tell you. It's MNK-T1 underscore 000-459-2758 and 2756 and 2754 is collective exhibit.
Just observe that it appears to skip Bates numbers, which suggests there might be pages missing from this document.
It does, and I don't know why that is, but we'll just move along.
Well, I would just object to the extent this isn't a document that's
Yep.
represented
Objection noted.
as it's maintained.
Can you take a look at it for me, please? My first question on these is pretty simple. Is this your handwriting?
Yes.
Okay. And when do you recognize these to be pharmacy information sheets?
Yes.
And these are all pharmacy information sheets for Riggs Pharmacy?
Yes.
Okay. Riggs Pharmacy.
Except the back is some other chart.
Yeah, ignore that.
Okay.
Okay, so so that would be Riggs Pharmacy in Lafayette, Riggs Pharmacy in Jacksboro, and Riggs Pharmacy in Powell, Tennessee. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and looking at this, you've got your handwritten notes. It goes through, it looks like portions of the pharmacy information sheet. Where did you get this information?
In a conversation with a wholesaler, it's not identified here.
Okay, and you'd agree with me in those 3 pages of your handwritten notes about the various rigs that not every section of your pharmacy information sheet is filled out. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and did Mallinckrodt, to your knowledge, ever do any site visits at any of these 3 Riggs pharmacies?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, and do you have any recollection of any conversations about the Riggs pharmacies at all?
This pharmacy information sheet would have been the product of a discussion.
Okay, other than what's written down in your handwritten notes on these pharmacy information sheets, do you recall anything about those Riggs pharmacies?
No.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to hand you what we'll mark as Exhibit 51. MNK_TNSTA 05350336. Okay, do you recognize this document?
Yes.
Okay, what does it appear to be?
Pharmacy information sheet on Riggs Drug again.
Okay, and this is the Riggs Drug in Lafayette, Tennessee, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and that's dated 10/12/11?
Yes.
Okay, and if you look down here at the notes, it says, other notes, explanation of 800 RX total per day. PIC said increases due to physician switching from hydrocodone APAP mix due to liver concerns. Do you know where that information was obtained?
I do not know. Well, the information would have been provided by Cardinal Health.
Okay. And did you do anything to verify the information provided to you by Cardinal Health?
No.
Okay. And did anyone in Mallinckrodt, to your knowledge, do anything to verify the information provided by Cardinal Health?
No.
Okay. Okay, so then the next sentence says, near Riggs Medical Center in St. Mary's Hospital. Do you see where it says that?
Yes.
Okay. You obtained that information from Cardinal Health?
Yes.
Okay. Riggs Medical Center, do you know if a Riggs Medical Center exists?
I do not.
Okay. Did you do anything to verify whether a Riggs Medical Center exists?
No.
Okay. What about St. Mary's Hospital? It says near Riggs Medical Center in St. Mary's Hospital. Do you know how near this pharmacy was to St. Mary's Hospital?
No.
Okay. Do you know where Lafayette, Tennessee is?
No.
Okay. Do you know where St. Mary's Hospital is?
No.
If St. Mary's Hospital is 45 miles away in Knoxville from Lafayette, is that information you would have wanted to have known?
It's a piece of information, but I don't know how many other medical centers, how many other pharmacies were within that 45 miles. So it would have been an additional piece of information, but not conclusive.
Okay, but that's information you would have liked to have had in evaluating this pharmacy.
It wasn't always provided to us, the proximity of the pharmacy to a hospital. So we took this information as Cardinal represented it to us.
When you hear near Riggs Medical Center and St. Mary's Hospital, would you consider near to be 45 miles away?
I don't know La Follette, Tennessee, to know if in Missouri some of the healthcare centers are hundreds of miles away from where a patient may live and the pharmacy from which they may obtain their prescriptions. So I don't have enough information to answer.
Okay, but you didn't do anything to check that out, did you?
No.
Okay. And then it says another Briggs drugstore is located in Powell, Tennessee, with Oxy 30 milligram year to date of approximately 170,000. See that?
Yes.
Okay. Did that concern you at all that there was another Briggs pharmacy so close with that number?
I don't see on this pharmacy information sheet a disposition in terms of whether we restricted chargebacks to the sale of pharmaceuticals to any of these Riggs Drugs facilities. I can tell you it was a topic of conversation with Cardinal, but I don't know the disposition.
Okay, if you look down at the bottom there, it says result, take off list and honor chargebacks, requested site visit with 90 days, low CS percentage is mitigating factor. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, and so that would be the result from the Mallinckrodt side, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, when it says take off list, what does that mean?
Well, I'd like to clarify the previous information.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know who filled this out. I don't
Okay.
know if it was us or Cardinal.
Okay.
Because Cardinal was a great collaborative partner, and so as time went on, as opposed to us writing these things in hand, Cardinal would come prepared to conversations or meetings or transmit these pharmacy information sheets to us.
Okay.
So I don't know who typed this disposition.
Okay. Do you know if Riggs was ever put on a chargeback list?
Yes.
Why don't we look at the list?
All right.
I'll find it. Would Cardinal have had the ability to tell Mallinckrodt what to put on or take off of a chargeback list?
Objection to form.
Same objection. Did Cardinal have that ability?
They had, no, not the ability.
Okay. Would they make recommendations?
Yes.
Okay. And would you follow their recommendations?
Yes.
Would you do any independent research to verify their recommendations?
I don't, it would have been situational.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to show you Exhibit 36, which is the chargeback list. And please let me know if you see Riggs on there, please.
I do not.
Okay, so if Riggs was ever placed on the chargeback list on Mallinckrodt, by Mallinckrodt, it should appear on the chargeback list. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, you can set that aside. I'm going to show you what we're going to mark as Exhibit 51, 2,
It's 52.
52. Thank you. I'll make a note. This is MNK underscore TNSTA 053 53270. Take a look at that for me, please, ma'am. Do you recognize this as the summary report for the Cardinal Health Suspicious Order Monitoring Audit conducted March 5th through 6th in 2012 in Ohio?
Yes.
Okay. Did you create this document?
I don't recall.
Okay. Looking through it, it says on March 5th, total of 19 pharmacies located in Florida were reviewed. If you look at the second page, page ending in 53271, a total of 20 pharmacies located in non-Florida states were reviewed. Of the 20, 11 pharmacies have had controlled substance sales restricted by Cardinal. Do you see where that is?
Yes.
Okay. And do you see the list that says non-Florida, non-restricted?
Yes.
And what is the one at the bottom there?
Riggs Drug.
Okay. And if you go up 2, that's Max Pharmacy. Is that right?
Yes.
Do you know where that's located?
No.
Okay. And then Kinzer Drugstore. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. And is Kinzer Drugstore listed in Tennessee?
I know the name came up within the course of this deposition. I'm getting so muddled. I don't know. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
That's fine. Okay. And I think those are my only questions on that document. You can set it aside. Okay, we'll just go through these next 3 pretty quickly. Number 53. MNK underscore TNSTA 0061261. Do you recognize this document as a pharmacy information sheet?
Yes.
Do you know if it was filled out by Mallinckrodt or by Cardinal?
I do not know.
Okay, same standing objection. Okay, and it talks about the volume of oxycodone sales to this location. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then at the bottom it says describe physical location and description of pharmacy. Standalone building on Main 2-lane road, services rural community in residential area in Campbell County. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
Okay, and did Mallinckrodt do anything to verify that information?
No.
Okay. Okay, I'm handing you Exhibit 54, MNK underscore TNSTA 00607-869. Do you recognize this as a pharmacy information sheet dated 11/30/2012 for the Riggs Drug in Lafayette, Tennessee?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know if someone from Mallinckrodt filled this out or somebody from Cardinal filled it out?
Objection to form.
No.
Okay. And could you please read to me what it says and describe the physical location and description of the pharmacy?
La Follette, Tennessee is a small town of 7,926 located northwest of Knoxville. The pharmacy is located in a spacious standalone building with a large parking area. It shares a small amount of space with a medical clinic, which is in the process of moving to a larger building. The pharmacy is located on the primary business street and the state highway through town.
Okay. And then down at the bottom, the notes. Could you read that for me, please?
Yes. All rigs 15/30s capped have stopped prescribing for certain docs per Cardinal Health. That's the abbreviation for Cardinal Health. They believe Jack Sparrow store has made progress. One store fills 12,000 scripts per month. Another fills 5,000.
Okay. So the information that's included in the physical location about the size of La Follette, Tennessee, and description of the building, that's information that was known to Mallinckrodt. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then when it says notes, all rigs have been capped, talking about per Cardinal Health, they believe the Jack Sparrow store has made progress. Cardinal's being referred to as they. So do you believe that note was made by somebody at Mallinckrodt?
Yes.
Okay. And so do you know anything about rigs 15 and 30s being capped?
It says it here, but I don't recall.
Okay. And what does it mean to cap someone at 15 and 30s?
It means a limit was placed on the amount of oxycodone 15s and 30s that a particular pharmacy could receive from a distributor.
Okay. And why would that happen? Why would a cap be put on?
So this is part of Cardinal's program, and I can't answer the question.
Okay. When it says they believe the Jack Sparrow store has made progress, one store fills 12,000 scripts per month, another fills 5,000. Does that mean that the numbers went down?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you know if you had a concern about diversion from these Riggs pharmacies in Campbell County?
So by virtue of the fact we had a pharmacy information sheet, it means we discussed these pharmacies with Cardinal and any other distributor that was selling to them. So it was a point of discussion for further review.
Okay, so there was discussion about whether there was potential diversion at these Riggs pharmacies.
Yes.
Okay, and at no time did Mallinckrodt do chargeback restrictions for Riggs pharmacies, according to that chart we saw. Is that correct?
So yes, and I misspoke when I said that we had. According to the chart, Riggs pharmacies were not restricted from chargeback processing.
Okay, and so that means, to your knowledge, Riggs pharmacies could continue to receive oxycodone 15 and 30s.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Almost done. Okay. $55. Marking plaintiff's exhibit 55 here. It's MNK underscore TNSTA 00612-647. Take a look at this for me, please. The file name for this document is Riggs Pharmacy, all sales run 11/30/2012. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did you create this document?
No.
Did you direct that it be created?
I'm not certain.
Okay. Okay, if you look with me on page 3.
I'm sorry. Oh, yes.
You
I
see
see.
it?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Does this appear to be a report based on chargeback data to you, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, and it appears to be a report about the Riggs drugstores in the Riggs drugstores we were discussing. Is that correct? Jacksboro, Lafayette, and Powell.
So the cover says Riggs Pharmacies, but I don't see that there's an, oh yes, I do see an identifier on the spreadsheet itself. Yes, Riggs Pharmacies.
Okay, great. And looking here, it's kind of hard to review it all. 1, 2. If you look on page 3, down at the bottom, the orange line says oxycodone 30 milligram tablets. Do you see where I'm at?
Yes.
Okay, and it indicates that Cardinal Health shipped 292,600 oxycodone 30 milligram tablets to Riggs Drug in Lafayette, Tennessee in the calendar year 2012. Is that correct?
So the data began November of 2011.
Oh, you are correct. So from November 2011 to November 2012.
Yes.
Okay. And then it says H.D. Smith shipped 30 milligrams of oxycodone to that same Riggs location, 1,200 tablets. Am I reading that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and staying on page 3 with me there, the last blue line says oxycodone 15 milligram tablets here for the same Riggs store in Lafayette, Tennessee. Do you see where I'm at?
Yes.
Okay, and it says that Cardinal Health shipped 84,000 tablets during that same time period. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so if you add those two together, I submit to you that would be 377,600 Mallinckrodt made oxycodone 15 milligram and 30 milligram tablets going to that one pharmacy in that period of November 2011 to November 2012. Does that sound correct?
Yes.
Okay. And that's just to one pharmacy, not to what was sent to that county. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Does that number seem too high to you?
A number is one of the indicators we use. High, I don't have enough information to compare other states to this particular statistics or other pharmacies, so I can't answer.
Okay. So you'd have to have that information in order to be able to make a determination as to whether the number was too high relatively.
Well, too high is a relative term again, so it would be a number that merited further review,
Okay.
potentially, yes.
And so the types of things that you would want to know in order to make that determination would be population?
That could be one
Okay.
piece of information.
Okay. And what about the percent of an aging population of the area?
No.
That's not something you'd want to consider?
Oh, it wasn't part of our program.
Okay. What about nearness to hospitals or other medical facilities? Would you want to know that information?
Not routinely,
Okay.
no.
Okay. So what types of other information would you need besides just pure number in order to be able to make a determination if a pharmacy was processing suspicious orders?
So the factors listed on the pharmacy information sheet, oxycodone compared to other opioids being dispensed,
Okay.
percent oxycodone 15 and 30 relative to other oxy products, and the other factors including a physical and a physical location and description of the pharmacy.
Okay. And what types of physical locations would cause you concern?
I don't know offhand.
Okay. Okay, so the things on the list is what you would consider on the pharmacy information sheet checklist.
Yes.
Okay. Are there anything outside of the information, the questions you've got contained in the pharmacy information sheet checklist that you would consider when determining whether a pharmacy may be engaging in diversion?
So a Google report
Okay.
would prompt further review. Those are the factors that come to mind.
Okay. But a Google report, if it comes up, right, it's generally going to be when there's been a drug bust at a pharmacy after the fact. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. If you'll take the same sheet with me, we're going to just spend another minute with it. And if you'll flip with me to the one that's page 4. If you'll go down to the part that's highlighted in orange. I guess that's orange.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong page.
That's okay. Page 4.
All right.
At the top, it should say Riggs Drug in Jacksboro, Tennessee. Do you see where I'm at?
Yes.
Okay. And then the orange all the way down at the bottom.
Yes.
Okay. So it says oxycodone 30 milligram tablets. And then it would be 139,400 tablets were supplied to this pharmacy, Riggs in Jacksboro, Tennessee, by Cardinal Health in the time period of November 2011 through November of 2012. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. And if you go one line up, it talks about oxycodone 15 milligram tablets shipped to that Jacksboro Riggs. That's 38,700. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so if you total that, that'd be 178,100 Mallinckrodt oxycodone pills going to that one pharmacy in that time period. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And the rest of these numbers on there, those are the other controlled substance Mallinckrodt products. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And many of those are opioids as well. Is that right?
Yes.
Is methylphenidate an opioid?
Yes.
Okay. So is everything on this list an opioid?
Yes.
Okay, so if you total all of the opioids then, the Mallinckrodt opioids sent to Riggs Drug in Jacksboro, Tennessee during this time period, that would be 279,570 Mallinckrodt opioids shipped to this pharmacy during that period of time, I submit to you. Does that seem like a lot of opioids to one pharmacy to you?
So I'm sorry, you're saying that you did the math?
Yes, ma'am.
And added all these? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
I'm not going to make you vouch for my math, but if I
Okay,
tell you,
all right.
if I tell you that that totals to 279,570,
Yes.
does that seem like a lot of Mallinckrodt opioids to go to one pharmacy to you?
No, not necessarily.
You would want to look at the factors that are on the pharmacy information sheet, is that right?
Yes.
And the Google alerts, is that right?
Yes, and I have a conversation with the distributor.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you know anything about Jacksboro, Tennessee?
No.
Okay. Do you know if Jacksboro and Lafayette are in the same county?
No.
Okay. What if I told you they are? They're in Campbell County, Tennessee. Have you ever heard of Campbell County, Tennessee?
No.
Okay. Do you know anything about Campbell County, Tennessee?
No.
Has Campbell County, Tennessee ever been a topic of discussion during your professional time at Mallinckrodt?
Not that I recall.
Okay.
On the 12-hour mark here,
Are
are you almost done?
I
or
am
should we take a
so
break?
almost done.
Okay.
I have I think I have 2 very quick charts and then 3 tiny things to ask her about. I'm probably 10 minutes. Do you want to take a break?
Not if it's going to be 10 minutes.
I think it's going to be 10.
Okay.
I think it's going to be 10 minutes. I will try very hard not to lie to you. Okay.
It's always appreciated.
I will hand you what I'm marking as Plaintiff's Exhibit 56. This is MNK underscore TNSTA 0252 7616. This is, the title is Oxy 15 and 30, shipped to and sold to via month, January through December 2011. It looks like the report was run 2/15/2012. I will submit to you that we have condensed this just to Campbell County. Okay, so if you take a look at this list, I think you'll notice Lafayette that we've been talking about, and also Jacksboro, which we've also discussed. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and this chart appears to show you chargeback data to the various pharmacies during the period of January 2011 through December 2011. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And we haven't talked at all about a place called Jellicoe. Have you ever heard of Jellicoe, Tennessee?
No.
Okay. Okay, on this list, I think you'll recognize we've got the 3 Riggs drugs right at the top, right?
Yes.
Okay, Riggs drug in Lafayette and Riggs drug in Jacksboro.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know how many people live in Jellicoe, Tennessee?
No.
Okay. And this spreadsheet is for the Oxy 15s. Do you see that? I'll show you the Oxy 30s next.
Yes.
Okay. And if you look at this spreadsheet, you've got Jellicoe 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So let's look at the first one, Jellicoe drugs. Do you see that?
Yes.
It looks like Jellicoe Drugs was getting stuff from Amerisource, getting oxycodone 15 from AmerisourceBergen and Masters. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so during that time period, looks like Jellicoe Drugs received 14,400 oxycodone 15 tablets from Masters. Is that right?
Yes.
And then 12,200 from AmerisourceBergen.
Yes.
Okay, and if you go down to the others, you have the Rite Aid, number 1935 in Jellicoe. They received 2,500 oxycodone 15. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then the last one is the Family Drug Center in Jellicoe by Cardinal Health, and it looks like they received 300 oxy 15s. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so if you add all that together, I'll submit to you that that's about 29,400 oxycodone 15s for the town of Jellicoe. Does that sound right?
I've not done the math, but if you say it's true, we'll go with it.
Okay. I'm going to hand you what's marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 56. 6?
This was 56.
Oh, 57. I left my... No, just do another one. 57. Okay, this is the tab. Oh. Hold on. Huh. Well, it looks like I'm missing one, so you might have worked out. Okay, it appears that I'm missing the one for the Oxy 30. Okay. Did you ever run the numbers for the total number of Mallinckrodt oxycodone products going to Campbell County, Tennessee?
I do not know.
Okay, I'm going to I'm going to mark you with, I'm going to hand you what we've marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 57. Okay, could you read the file name of this document for me, please, ma'am?
Hydroapap 10s shipped to and sold via by month January 2015 through December 2015, 325 milligrams APAP.
Okay, great. Okay, I'm going to back up for a second if you'll set this aside and we'll talk about it in just a second. I skipped some of the questions. Going back to our discussion about Campbell County, do you know what Campbell County's population was in 2010?
No.
Do you know if Mallinckrodt has ever looked specifically at the number of pills it sends to the various counties in Tennessee?
Objection to form.
Have you looked by county?
I do not know.
Okay. Did you run any chargeback reports by county on a routine basis with Tennessee?
No.
Okay. What about towns?
The reports can be sorted by towns,
Okay.
but not specific to Tennessee towns.
Okay. Okay. Had you, were you aware that in 2015, Campbell County prescribed the third highest morphine equivalent milligrams per capita annually in the country?
No.
Is that a list that Mallinckrodt would look at?
Objection to form.
Not within the scope of suspicious order monitoring.
Okay. So if the CDC lists counties with the highest prescribing of opioids per capita, is that something you would consult in your job in suspicious order monitoring?
No.
Okay. Think it'd be helpful?
We use various pieces of information at various times, so I can't compare and contrast. One thing is more helpful than the other.
Okay. We already talked about this. And I think you looked before at the chargeback data list, the chargeback restriction list, Exhibit 36, Mallinckrodt's chargeback restriction list. Will you take a look at that for me for one more second? Are you aware of the number of pharmacies that were on that list? How many have been subject of law enforcement action?
No.
Are you aware if any of the reinstated pharmacies on that list have been subject of law enforcement action?
No.
Okay, and do Do you know if the pharmacies on that list that were placed on that list were placed on before or because of, I'm sorry, I'm going to back up. I'm going to strike that question. We're going to start over. Do you know of the pharmacies that were placed on that Mallinckrodt chargeback restriction list? How many of those restricted pharmacies were placed on after law enforcement action?
No.
Okay, you can set it aside, please. Have you ever heard of Clay County, Tennessee?
No.
Do you know what the population is of Clay County, Tennessee?
No.
Okay. Has there been any discussion in your professional capacity at Mallinckrodt having to do with Clay County, Tennessee?
Not that I recall.
Okay, if you'll take a look at Exhibit 57 for me, please, ma'am. Okay, you've already identified this document. I will submit to you that we've modified it to show only the town of Salina, Tennessee. Go flip to the page. Do you recognize this as chargeback data, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Looking at this chargeback data, does it indicate to you that Rite Aid number 2494 in Salina, Tennessee, through McKesson, received 87,000 Mallinckrodt Hydro APAP 10s?
Yes.
Okay. And then Anderson Hometown Pharmacy received 500 Hydro APAP 10s through McKesson, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And then Cumberland River Hospital, also in Salina, Tennessee, through Cardinal, received 200 Hydro APAP 10s, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and that shows if you total it, I think this math's a little easier, that's 87,700 Hydro APAP 10s sent to Salina, Tennessee that were Mallinckrodt between January 2015 and December 2015. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Did you know that the town of Salina, Tennessee population is 1,379 people?
No.
Do you think that's an appropriate number of Hydro APAP 10s to be going to a town with 1,379 people?
Objection to form.
I don't have enough information to answer.
Okay, and the information that you would want would be the information that's contained on that pharmacy information sheet that we talked about earlier?
Part of the information, yes.
Okay, and the other information would be information that you get from the Google alerts, is that right?
Potentially.
Okay, and is there any other information you can think of that you'd want to know to make that decision?
Let's circle back, please. We're talking
Sure.
about Salina, Tennessee.
Yes, ma'am.
And what's the question again, please?
Oh, the question was if you thought that was an appropriate number of Hydro APAP pills to be going to that town.
Okay, and I said I cannot answer. I don't have enough information.
And so then I said you'd want the information on the pharmacy information sheet that we talked about before in order to make that determination.
Yes, as one of the factors, yes.
And one of the other factors would be the information that you glean from Google alerts.
Yes.
Okay, and is there any other information that you would feel you need to consult?
Any other information provided to us by the distributors?
Okay.
But no, nothing other than that.
Okay, you can set that aside, please, ma'am. Okay, done with charts. Okay. Okay, number 58. Okay, if you'll take a look at this for me, please. Could you please read the title?
DEA investigators seeking answers in small Tennessee town.
And then what does it say after that?
There's a header.
Yes,
Dr-
ma'am.
Drug Enforcement Administration.
Okay, so this is a press release coming from the Drug Enforcement Administration?
Yes.
Okay. And then under that it says Rural Clay County Pharmacies 2017 purchases from distributors totaled more than 1 million pills. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, and then the date line What is the city and state that it indicates?
Salina, Tennessee.
Okay, and then if you could read the first sentence for me, please.
DEA investigators this week conducted inspections at several pharmacy locations in the Clay County, Tennessee town, of Salina, following an inquiry into irregular patterns of pill purchases from drug distribution companies.
Okay, you can stop there. Were you aware of this DEA investigation?
No.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Set that aside. Okay. In 2017, did you start working on pulling Tennessee orders reports?
Objection to form.
I don't know.
Okay. $58, $59. Okay, I'm going to hand you what I'm going to mark as Exhibit 59. MNK-TN_000-6462195. These all got jammed together, guys. Sorry. If you look with me all the way down to, there we go. You don't have to read the whole thing, but if you look where Thomas Duffel, 3/4 of the way down the page,
Yes.
and he, it looks like, sends an email to you on September 11th, 2017, and Debbie Dingle. Do you see that?
Yes.
And the subject is regarding need listing of all current and past narcotic SKUs. You see that?
Yes.
Okay, and so his email to you and Debbie is Karen/Debbie, just to make sure, I'm sending a list of the items that we used to pull the most recent Tennessee orders report. I'm assuming that the list will remain constant as we have requests like these. Please let me know if there are any issues. Thank you. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
Okay, do you know what he's talking about?
Yes.
Okay, what's he talking about?
He's determining that he has the list of all opioid products to pull this report and other reports.
For Tennessee orders.
In this case, yes.
Okay, and do you know why he was pulling Tennessee orders?
No.
You don't?
No.
Okay. Did anybody ever talk to you about pulling Tennessee orders?
Well, clearly they did, but this could have been a request by counsel.
Okay. Can you think of any other reason there would have been a request to pull Tennessee numbers?
A subpoena, request from counsel, those type of things.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
For the record, I think we're closing in on 20 minutes.
Oh my gosh, really? I thought I was doing so well. I'm so sorry. Okay. So close. Okay. 50.
60.
60. Okay, I'm going to hand you 60, and I think there's only one after this one. Okay, I'm going to hand you what's been marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 60. And that is MNK-T1_000-718-5456. Okay, it is a 2-page document. Do you recognize this as an email chain between you and David Witter?
Yes.
Dated over the course of June 2017?
Yes.
Okay, who is David Witter?
He was another person to whom my group reported.
Okay, what was his position?
His title has changed over time, but he's in supply chain is the name of his group.
Okay, And so if you'll go down with me, it looks like David Witter is saying to you in the second email down, Wednesday, June 14th, 2017, no worries. If we can complete by the end of the week, we'll be in a good spot. The DEA meeting prep and Tennessee matter are both more pressing. Do you see that?
Yes.
And he's responding to you. You'd sent an email, it looks like, earlier that day.
Yes.
Okay, David, that will take an additional day or two to complete. You'll have it no later than Friday, COB. I'm waiting on slide input from David Hunter. Don has slammed me last night and today with work for the Tennessee matter and DEA meeting prep. Sorry. What is the Tennessee matter?
So I don't know specifically what the Tennessee matter is or was.
Okay. What was the DEA meeting prep?
I don't know. I don't recall.
Okay. All right. And have you read the complaint in the Tennessee matter?
No,
Okay, but it was sent to you, is that right?
I'm not certain of that.
Okay. I am going to give you our very last exhibit. Which is 61. Handing you it is marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 61. Okay, this appears to be an email from Don Lohman to John Gillies and you, dated June 14th, 2017. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and it says filed complaint 6/13/2017, and this was emailed to you 6/14/2017. Is that right?
Yes, I see that.
Okay, and I just copied the first page of our complaint because it's really super long.
Okay.
Did you ever read it?
No.
Okay, you received it, but you didn't read it.
It's clear that I received it. I don't recall receiving it, and I don't recall reading it.
Okay, and so when we were talking before about the Tennessee matter, could it have been the filing of our complaint that was the matter?
I can't answer that question.
You can't answer because you don't know or because it's privileged?
Oh, because I don't know.
Oh, okay. Very
Yes,
good.
sorry.
Okay. Okay, I don't think I have any other questions.
Excellent. Move off the record.
We're going off the record at 9:18 p.m.